Okay, I'm going to give this another go. This is my third game, I think, in the past handful of days. I've wanted to record this one actually for a couple of days. This one was a few notches back in the schedule, probably about game 207 or 208, or 210 at least, I guess, actually, specifically. I played 211. 210 and 2 I played 211 and 212 already, and this would be game 210 of 1008 for the regular season replay. This is the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues. In real life at this point, both teams struggling. Winnipeg 5-12-1 after 18 games, and St. Louis 6-10-2 after 18 games. That was at the conclusion of this game, which was a 4-2 win for St. Louis, if you're just listening and not looking or have a smaller screen. And in my replays so far, the Jets come into it with a record of 6-9-2. So I suppose if they now they're doing a little better, actually. They already up to 13 or 14 points they are. And St. Louis, on the other hand, with a record of 7-8 and so 7-9-1, sorry, so 15 points. So they are doing a little better in my replay, a little closer to 500 than they were in real life. I would say that's a general observation that I've not actually gone through the data like up close to kind of look at specifically, but I do feel like there are more teams hovering around 500 right now and fewer aberrations. I mean, there's some expected, like Ottawa's doing really well, and I guess Boston, to the good, they're doing really well. But for the most part, it does seem like there's a lot of teams right now in my replay that are just kind of mid. So I'm going to try this. Hopefully, this will be visible on screen. I have the Jets here. They are on the road, and the St. Louis Blues at home. So I can look at these when the cards are flipped. And so I'm going to shuffle them a bit here. Try to get into this one more quickly, so I'm only at worst slightly late for the next thing that I have to do, the next place I have to be. But again, it's been already a couple of days, and so yeah, here it is. This is game 212 replay. And after this, there was only, I think, a couple of games on November 15th, and then I'm probably going to do something about kind of a quarter season, mid-November update. But 7 and Queen, so that's going to be, and I've got the cards right in front of me, so I should probably take those away or I'll forget to go here. So 7 and Queen on the road. So we're looking at Keith Tkachuk for 7, and then if we look at St. Louis's team defense, Kings and Queens, so Tkachuk makes a move, passes it through to 9. 9 is Darren Shannon. So Shannon will shoot, and Shannon shot the King. That should go in on Bob Essenza. Yes, Kings will fool both Essenza and, who is it, Tabarachi? Yes, Kings will defeat. Kings will get by Essenza and Tabarachi. So Essenza did get the start here, and there was an empty netter late in a 4-2 final game, and Curtis Joseph for St. Louis. So it's 1-0. That was Darren Shannon from Keith Tkachuk, and 2 of diamonds. So we look at D. That's Teemu Selanne, which I feel weird about saying his name right now because over here in Seoul, South Korea, where I am, and forgive any background noise that you hear in this video, this is a noisy city, and I have the window open. We had a Finnish comic over here. Hope she wouldn't mind me saying this, but she would go through the Finnish hockey players' names, and they're nothing like how we would say them in North America. In fact, her own last name was Berg, which, like, I remember it was in like '96, Aki Petteri Berg getting drafted number 3 overall in the mid '90s. So she has the same last name, and it's pronounced, and I'm going to butcher it still, but it's pronounced much closer to body than Berg. Anyway, a fun fact there. So Selanne getting the secondary assist, so I'll update it here in the spreadsheets and take a quick look as well at how these players do. And Housley's having a really good season already, up to 8 goals and 24 points. Selanne with that 10th assist, 22, and he's got 12 goals. It was Darren Shannon getting the goal, so he's up to 5 now in the season. And Keith Tkachuk, fellow rookie, with 7 assists here in the campaign. So we'll get rid of the Washington, New Jersey that I played just a little earlier. Again, the road team scoring first here, and that was Darren Shannon. 5 with Tkachuk, 7, and Selanne with 10. Okay. Could have been a power play goal, I suppose. Yep. And that's just 2.5 minutes in. So up to minute 5, Winnipeg again with possession. This happened to New Jersey on the road in the previous game. It looks like they have another goal because 3 and 9. So if we look here, that's going to be Phil Housley. As mentioned, he's having a great year. Oh, I stand corrected. Ace or 10. So no, that cancels this sequence. We'll say that pass was picked off by, I don't know, Brendan Shanahan, let's go with, or Jeff Brown. And we're 5 minutes in. So yeah, no goal. But the Jets maintain pressure, but the Joker means that they're not able to create any scoring chance on the road. So 3-5, no. 10 minutes in, and 9 and 4. So 5 consecutive possessions here for the Jets. And finally, we get one for St. Louis, the Queen, and 7. That's Nelson Emerson. Emerson with a 7 with the drive. That will be a goal. That's probably, Brett Hull. So Brett Hull, well, it was a red Joker, right? I'll give that to Brett Hull. So Hull from Emerson, I said, and the secondary assist. This is 12.5 minutes in. The secondary 5 of diamonds. So we're looking at Kevin Miller, right? For St. Louis. Miller for St. Louis. Yes, okay. So Miller with his 5th assist, Emerson with his 9th, and Brett Hull is now up to 14 goals and 21 points. So that will be Hull, and again, 12.5 minutes in roughly, which again, I stopped keeping time for this, so I can just get through it a little bit more quickly. This 14th. If it's ever relevant to the game, then I'll work it out like roughly what the time was, but like for a significant goal, say in overtime or something. Hull from Emerson, 9, and Miller, 5. Okay, so puck back in the ice. 3-6. Oh, no, that was 15 minutes in. But to the 17.5 minute mark with the Jack 6 for St. Louis, that's going to be Hull trying to set someone else up and get an assist. And it looks like it's a solo effort from Hull instead. That's a goal. So 2 goals here for Brett Hull, up to goal number 15 on the season. And there will be 1 assist on the goal, perhaps. Queen of Diamonds, Doug Crosman. Okay, so Crosman is down here. Just his 2nd assist of the season. So in 15 goals now for Brett Hull. That is his 2nd. Hull going for the natural hat trick in the final sequence. We shall see. And suddenly, again, after 5 consecutive possessions, it is St. Louis with the lead. So you got to convert on your chances. Crosman with 2, and 2.5 minutes to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Jack Black. Nope. So 2nd period here, about to get underway. It's 2-1 St. Louis after 1. Remember, in real life, this was a 4-2 final score game for the Blues. Who scored first, though? Winnipeg. Lucien Borsato. And then for St. Louis, it was Brown, Philippe Bozon, Craig Janney. Hull had 2 assists in the game. And then Jeff Brown with the empty netter, with Eddie Olchuk getting a goal in between. So, period 2, where we get Winnipeg with the initial possession, but 2 is basically an automatic fail for any team, any side, home or away. King Joker, that's going to be very good for Jeff Brown and St. Louis. King Joker 10, so the pass up to Kevin Miller. Miller the shot. He didn't get a good shot off. 3-10, St. Louis maintaining possession, though 3-10, because that is, that's going to be Craig Janney. So St. Louis and Janney. The 7 is Ron Sutter. Janney out there with Ron Sutter. Maybe midline change, and I'm pretty sure, double checking here, yes, Kings for both. Kings very often are goals. So that's Kevin Miller from Jeff Brown, and the diamond is Jeff Brown once more. So just the 1 assist on that goal. Miller from Jeff Brown, and this is in the 2nd period. St. Louis is up 3-1. I think I saw that he had 2 goals, but let me double check. Nope, 3 already, so he's up to 4. And Jeff Brown is up to 10 assists now. So let's see, Miller 4 goals, Jeff Brown 10 assists. Okay. And we are, 7.5 minutes in. So up to minute 10. 5-7 for the Jets. I can remember it's over on this side. 5-7, Borsato needed an 8. So we continue play. Ace King, let's see the team defense, Kings and Red Queens. So Ace King, that's Janney. Janney finds Brett Hull, but only Ace or 8 to 10 here. So Hull doesn't have a chance. He's tied up in the slot. and the puck is wrangled away from him. I should have flipped this card first, but the blackjack, so it's not going to matter. So up to 15 minutes now in the second period to the 17.5-minute mark, where the 10-3, don't think so, but double checking. Shanahan, that pass is just a little too hot for him. And up to the final sequence of the second period where Jokers, I'm going to just cancel it out. So it is 3-1 St. Louis after 40. But yeah, what I'd like to do after a few more games is probably not play another game, but for what it's worth, just take a look around the league. And I'm also going to post like standings and scoring leaders and stuff in the penalty box and tabletop sports and Delphi. So Joker and Queen of Spades, Kings and Red Queens. So Winnipeg team defense is going to be a little too strong for that attempt. And 3 of Hearts, that's Craig Janney, I think, with the Queen. Janney with the Queen. It was Red Queens. I just looked at that. It's good to double check. I'm more tired today than I was last time. Maybe I should have waited another day, but I already felt like I waited too long. It's hard to fit in time for other hobbies, guys. Sorry. So 7.5 minutes up to minute 10, 7 and 9. That is Ron Sutter this time. Ron Sutter, he's had a couple touches in this game. 10 and 8. I believe we've got another goal. Kevin Miller from Ron Sutter. And the assist, this is 10 minutes into period 3. The assist diamonds, that is Jeff Brown again. So Ron Sutter, Jeff Brown, and Kevin Miller with the goal. Having productive nights. And that will happen sometimes where it just feels like in real life, a player's got a hot stick. So 13 or has hot hands. 6, 7, and 11. Let's update it like so. 4-1 Blues. So Miller with his 5th. And 7 in between is Ron Sutter. I'll just write Ron, not to confuse him with Rich. Hopefully that's correct. Again, sometimes look, I'm looking in the wrong place to see if it is. Ron Sutter, yeah, 7 assists there. Okay, so to 12.5 minutes, we go 5-10 for the Jets. That is Lucian Borsato. And ace, this is Solani. King. Let me see, did Cujo make the save? Red Kings and King of Clubs. And this is a King of Clubs, so that will fool Curtis Joseph. The assist, I'm going to say no Joker. Again, after the goal, so I can't punish the team. But that was from number 5 for the Jets. So Solani out there with Borsato getting the goal. I get excited. I was going to say off the top, like I was a big fan of Solani during his rookie season. It's weird as a Canadian, I actually got into fights, not hockey fights, but just playground fights, elementary stuff, on the playground for people actually making variations and making fun of him and his name, just because I was such a fan of his. And it's interesting again in hindsight because no one in the playground would have come even close to pronouncing his name correctly. But like Ricky, Randy, Travis, who else? Anyone else that I might have scrapped with over over Solani's last name. They anyway, I need not mention what they would call him. But yeah, a Canadian going. I remember telling the Finnish comic that too. This Canadian going to battle for the Finnish hockey player. Look, Canadians love hockey. Yes, we want to win at 4 Nations and Olympics. I think maybe I'm only speaking for myself and I'm a weirdo. But beyond that, I don't think we really care where you come from. Hockey's hockey. So there you go. You get some simulation hockey and you get a bit of my dose of opinionated whatever. And yeah, old man before my time, going down memory lane. Anyway, so did I even update the, yes, because Solani with his 13th goal, and again, it was from Borsato. I feel like I was so excited to give him the goal. That's right, I didn't credit Borsato, so let's go back and do that before we forget. Borsato's glancing at the score sheet. Hey, didn't I get an assist? Okay, 2-4, we could end up replicating the score. So Solani's on the board. And Borsato there with assist number 5. Unlikely they'd be on the ice together, as I recall. I mean, unless something midline change. It's so long ago. 2, 3, and Jack. So that's, Yes, it doesn't really matter the team player. That's just a canceled sequence. So we just have 5 minutes to go here, which this is a little anticlimactic because, of course, now, or no, is it? No, they could still catch up. Okay, but 5 and 6. So even with the goalie pulled here, 5 and 6, let's take a closer look here. I might house rule it. Nope. If the goalie is pulled, you're supposed to lower the team defense and the goalie's ability by one, but I also will remove one, either add or remove depending on whether the team is playing 6-on-5 or 5-on-6 in this case. It's kind of a house rule, so if that makes any sense. Anyway, final 2.5 minutes here of the game where king and ace, this could be an empty netter, 8 and 5. Let's see, because I'll do the same thing here. So king, ace, 8-5. Or no, wait, no, empty net actually would just go in as per the DoC rules. So king, that's Jeff Brown. 8 is Rich Sutter. And again, there's no, I guess you could argue that the defense broke up the play, but I'm just saying Rich Sutter goal. Pretty sure that's how it is officially in the rules. That's how I've been playing it forever. And so Rich Sutter from Jeff Brown and the spade, ace of spades, Emerson with another point in the game. So Sutter, Rich Sutter, empty net goal. I said Brown, right? And then Emerson. Is that 3 assists in the game for Brown, I think? If so. Wait, 5. Oh, hold on. What am I looking at? Sorry. King. Yes, no, King is Jeff Brown. Okay. So Brown, Emerson. And I remember Emerson having 9 assists, so he's now up to 10. And this will be an empty net goal. Normally, I will indicate that actually that it's an empty net goal. Rich Sutter, and that is Sutter's third, and then 10 assists from Emerson and 12 from Brown, or 4 Brown, I could say. 2 assists on an empty net goal might be a bit far fetched, but let's give more players more points. Let's see. Unless I notice like the assists are really off or anything. That's something that I could probably check. Looking at their end of season totals and goals. Assists divided by goals, or yeah. See how many goals or assists they're averaging per goal. So I guess I'll update the goalies. Essence got the start in this game, so he would have let in 4 goals. And that's what I do, 4 goals against and a loss. And so if we look at Essence's numbers so far, in 12 games, so now up to 13. And I'm just going to add 58 minutes. Again, I just do rough for this one. So instead of 7:32, it's going to be 7:30. And then I will go, 58. I have to let in the goals here. So 462. High average there for Essence, 62 and 730 minutes. And I don't think it's coming down much. Not from this run. 730 minutes is 509. Would round up to 510. So, and 4, 8, and 1. Essence. But again, Winnipeg will fall to closer to where their record was in this. So let's say 5, 8, and 1. 4, 8, and 1. Sorry, 4, 8, and 1 for Essence. 4, 8, and 1, and his goals against average is 510. And for the Blues, Joseph with 2 goals let in. Joseph, 800 minutes even, so 15 games now. And we'll put that at 860 and 45 goals let in. So let's see, 45 multiplied by 60 divided by 860. And that is 314. Goals against average of 314. So 7, 6, and 1. Back out for 500, Joseph is. And I would say 3.14. Yep. There you have it. I mean, I guess I could go over to the standings and update it and keep this. I mean, I'm going to do this anyway. Excuse me, right away. So 18 games are up to 8, 9, and 1 now. So 68 goals and 62 let in, and 17 points. And it should add up here at the bottom if it's, let's see here, 58 and 5, so 82. Hopefully those add up. Again, I am a bit tired at the moment, but I wanted to do this. So, standings updated. Normally as well, I like to put, so let's see, here's Winnipeg 2, St. Louis 5 in my replay. So close, 1 goal over. And in this, on average, my goals per game combined between the teams is a little under by about like quarter of a goal per game. So when there's one more than that, I guess it will bring it up closer to the average. Certainly not farther away. I'm not going to leave any additional notes for this one. I will come back and update or leave the link, I guess, but spoiler. So 6, 10, and 2, and 8, 9, and 1. Anyways, do this for fun, and anytime, any engagement or any consideration, while it's never expected, it's always appreciated. It's cool, and it's nice to see. It's nice to have comments to read, and yeah, so if this interests you at all, it's again, I guess the main reason again why I wanted to show this matchup, I mean, it's Brett Hall and Teemu Selanne, so and then Housley, did I not give him to Negan? Oh no, he didn't. Remember, he almost got an assist earlier in the game. Housley was held without a point in this. So anyways, once again, enjoy your games, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye for now.